Welcome to the Island Times. I'm Tom Patton. Mike Borno is in his second two-year term as mayor of Atlantic Beach. And while the city is small, it faces many of the same issues as any town, like taxes, public safety, and pension reform. I sat down with Mayor Borno recently at Atlantic Beach City Hall to discuss those and other issues facing the city. Mayor Mike Borno, you're in your second term as mayor of Atlantic Beach. What have been some of the successes that you've seen, not only over the course of your entire 2 terms in office, but in particular the things that were good in 2012?
Successes I go all the way back to 1997 when I first got appointed to the commission, and in 1999 it really spiked when I was part of the team that hired our current city manager, Jim Hansen, which was a phenomenal blessing to this city. We thought we were in good shape, but we found out that we had a lot of needs that needed to be done. By his guidance, by our form of government, you know, being a weak commission and strong city manager, he has established 10-year plans on all of our major budget items for expenses and revenues, projections. We updated every year. He got us into strategic planning, good cycles, and it's just his leadership, his knowledge, and he's so professional. It's just been a real blessing to the city of Atlantic Beach. Due to that, we have managed to do an upgrade recently, and just completed coming online now of our wastewater treatment plant, closed down Buccaneer up on Wonderwood Road, and now have everything coming in to the main plant on Sandpiper. And in turn, our discharge into the St. Johns River is way below what EPA standards had called for. Plus, we are seeing approximately $300,000 to $350,000 energy save by all the upgrades, new blowers, more energy efficient. It's just that's one of the real big phenomenal things. Plus energy grants.
Right.
When David Thompson was here, it was a phenomenon that he had such a network as a public safety director throughout the state and the nation that he had the ability to really bring in millions of dollars to us. It was a terrible loss to us when decisions were made that that was not the thing to be done. That has hurt us. So that is one of the negatives. And there are other negatives that I won't even bother to go into right now.
On that wastewater treatment plant, what did that cost the city of Atlantic Beach?
We used a fund by the state, max of 4% interest, and I believe that we have put less than $9 million into the upgrade. We did not utilize everything that we were authorized to use in the bond issue with them, but another leadership by the city manager and the public works director.
There you go. You're at an impasse right now with both of your city unions.
Yes.
Where is the city of Atlantic Beach on pensions right now, and kind of what are your prospects for pension reform?
Currently, I, for one, and the citizens hopefully are supporting me. Police officers and public employees deserve to have a pension. There's no question about that. But that is, we're not trying to take anything away. We're trying to adjust and work with the state to get the state off our backs, which has given us unfunded mandates. The 175, 185 money in relationship to the police, mandatory that it has to go into special benefits, additional benefits. Those type things are unfunded mandates that just eat alive our revenues. And plus the investments, and we can't control the investments in the fund, so that, you know, the market up and down, last year being very bad, the last 4 years, it's starting to pick back up. We're starting to gain ground in our investments. So we've got a real mixture. City employees, there was a need. Everybody needs to realize that anything that gets done with pensions, any adjustments, is a 30-year mortgage out to the future. And too often in the past, when things were real good, it was nice, warm, and fuzzy. Well, let's do this, let's do this, let's give them this, let's give them that. Negotiations, It's normal. That's the environment. But every time somebody would bring up, you're doing a 30-year mortgage, well, I'm not worried about that. It's not going to happen on my watch.
Right.
Well, I worry about that. I worry about the future as well as the past. Plus, we need to be fair and consistent with our employees. But we need to have the tools, and that is to do collective bargaining at the local level, not be mandated from any other agency.
There's been a lot of discussion about the renovation or relocation of the police building, part of the building that we're sitting in right here. So tell me about the pluses and minuses of using the current facility and renovating it against finding a new place for the police department.
This has been a real research, and it gets so involved in politics because of the change every 2 years of Atlantic Beach, of the possibility of 3 people changing out of 5. Mm-hmm. This study's been going on, I believe, for about 9 years that I've been involved with it. We made stepping stones. We got up to the point of having design plans, and all of a sudden we get a turn from a group of people, not the whole citizens, but a group of people. Oh my goodness, you can't do that, because it takes approximately 1,000 square feet of green space out of Russell Park, mm-hmm. straightens out the parking lot, entrance and exit onto Plaza Boulevard, and they felt it was a Taj Mahal. So we went back, readjusted, went through the stepping stones that, well, there hasn't been enough public input. Good Lord, I don't know how many people I've talked to that come to commission meetings for 9 years, but all of a sudden, we haven't got any public input. So we appointed a citizens committee. Citizens Committee did its job by the charter that I worked on to what they were done. They weren't there to turn around and build and design this thing. They were to review history, be familiar with the history, make recommendations, which they did. But we had 8 in favor out of the committee against 4 that were not, with 1 person quitting out of the committee during the process. So, lo and behold, what do we got? Huge outcry. The 4 people that are dissenting are correct. That's incorrect. And every time that we deal with any statement that comes from them, we find out that it's not factual, or it's misconstrued or twisted to fit what they're trying to make in a negative form, mm-hmm. instead of wanting to be honest and deal with the real facts. And they don't like it when we bring that up to them. So now we are at the point of the commission, which in the very beginning, finally we got across to them that all 5 of us sitting up there are the ones that make the decisions. We are the committee. So let's get off of it, and let's, 1 or 2 things. Let's do something, or let's not do anything. So many ifs have been done. We got a group of people that think they're helping. They complicate matters because we researched property on Mayport Road, other areas. You have to put in perspective that if you go off property, which you already own, mm-hmm. you're incurring additional expense. Well, the cry about the police building was the expense. That's not good rationale. That's not even good common sense.
Right.
To incur additional debt because whoop-de-doo, it's warm and fuzzy, let's move it off-site, because we need to evaluate. Right now, we are at the point where we have an architect, Melanie Bishop, who was part of G. & Jensen Architects that drew that original police building and fire station. Mm-hmm. Looking for plans to see if we can make any adjustments or get any knowledge out of it. We know it's in a floodplain. It's lower than it needs to be, right. The existing building. So we're trying to work at that, evaluate if anything can be done to the south of it, towards the commission chambers on the east side of the creek. But again, all this was researched till we were so tired of hearing about it. Mm-hmm. We're going to go through it one more time. But
I know you're 1 vote out of 5, but how are you leaning?
I lean that we need a police station. Mm-hmm. They are hamstrung It's not of their fault. And a lot of people say, oh, they're not taking care of it, they stuffed this, that. There's no square footage there. It was never, ever built and designed. It was outdated when it was done, and it was done with the wisdom of the existing elected officials at that time, that instead of doing research and building it right, they said, here is X number of dollars, build it, and that's all you're getting. Well, that's not how you do things, and we are smart enough now. You have to take into all the technical changes, all the safety requirements for police and citizens in whatever building we put together. So we need to be up to a reasonable, safe standard with the ability to grow for the future. Because I think there will be an increase in the population of Atlantic Beach in the near, not maybe real near future. It won't happen on my watch, but I've been talking about it for years. We need to expand to the north.
Right. When we look at public safety in Atlantic Beach, what kind of public safety issues do you have, and do you feel like your police department has a good handle on public safety in a community this size?
They are extremely proficient. There are reports when you read them, but that's a cursory summary. Mm-hmm. When you get into the nitty-gritty of dangerous dogs or homicides or break-ins or burglaries and that, they're a phenomenal group of men and women that go out of their way beyond what is required of a cursory investigation, respond to this offense. And citizens don't get exposed to that. I do, because I ask questions. But I'm extremely proud of them. I'd serve right next to them anytime.
In part 2 of this interview, Mayor Borno discusses the status of the city attorney and the city's ongoing fight over tipping fees. For the Island Times, I'm Tom Patton.